Hello everybody, my name is Ezekiel Dasho and I wanted to show you guys some of the techniques I use to warm up when I am about to draw or sketch. So let's begin. I'm going to start off just with some circles. And I'm trying to make sure that I don't push down with the pencil. I'm letting the weight of the pencil do the pushing and just like kind of letting it rest on the paper. I'm not pushing down at all. I'm just sort of dragging it around and using it as sort of light of a touch as I can. For these circles, I'm kind of using my elbow and keeping my wrist straight. And using this sort of warm-up technique is it's just good to get your arm sort of ready to draw. Also, it helps you understand what the surface areas on your pencil are like, where the sharp edges are and where the soft edges are for shading. I personally like drawing the circles as a warm-up too, because it just sort of also helps you step into that framework of making sure that what you have in your mind looks like what's going onto the page, because it's a circle, and if it doesn't look round, it's going to look off. And so kind of it gives you something to shoot for, something to aim at. Let's see. I do a little shading. I tend to favor cross-hatching for people who are new to drawing. Cross-hatching is a technique where, for instance, what I just did would have been one direction, and then I would take it perpendicular to that and move it in the other direction. And that would be like the second layer. And then I'll move my arm a little bit weird because I don't want to move the page. This would be like the third layer. And then this would be the fourth layer. And you can even go beyond 4 layers. I'm basically just choosing a direction that you haven't chosen. One of the reasons I really like cross-hatching is because it will give you these tonal differences without overworking the paper. And, for instance, in some areas, you may, just depending on the aesthetic you're going for, you may not want these lines. And so you can always kind of go over with some like small little circles, just super lightly going counterclockwise with these super small little circles. And that can kind of soften it out and keep the shading from looking like it's sort of applying a direction to the image that you're working with. Another big thing too that I learned from watching other people and watching YouTube videos and stuff like that is that practicing restraint is really, really beneficial, especially if you're going to work on a piece for a long period of time. Say you're going to put multiple 4 to 8 hour sessions in on a drawing. You definitely don't want to overwork the paper, and pushing in hard and scarring the surface of the paper just it'll really affect the look of the picture when it's done. So, I mean, just being super gentle, super soft, taking it nice and easy. And so I guess this one I'm kind of doing this sort of modified cross hatching with them, you know, not pressing in hard at all, but like going over certain areas more, and just the object of the sort of game being to get the value into the little creases in the paper and stuff like that. I'm using, by the way, sorry, I'm using a 4B pencil. It's in a pencil clutch. I really like these pencil clutches if you're new to drawing. Basically, they just have refillable leads in them, and it makes it so you can draw and draw and draw without really having to go back to the pencil sharpener every 10-20 minutes. So let's see. For larger areas, I like to hold my pencil like that, and letting the pencil do the weight of the pencil do the work of pushing it. And just practicing restraint and the method of sort of keeping it moving quickly and getting the coverage kind of even. I wish I could remember where I saw this exercise. I'm sure it was on a YouTube video, but I can't quite remember what channel. But it was an art instructor, I want to say from Cambridge or something, like Oxford or something like that. And they had this little exercise. It was basically just making infinity signs, like connected infinity signs over and over. And I just find it to be an incredibly useful warm-up. Just kind of, again, not using your wrist so much, but just kind of using your elbow, your arm, and your hand, and trying to kind of do these connected figure eights, sort of. So yeah, the benefits of warming up are many, and they'll definitely help you improve your life drawing skills. It's just nice to, when you start your drawing, not to go in cold. And it's definitely nice to know sort of how your pencil's going to behave, if the lighting where you're sitting is all correct, and if the paper that all of the stuff that you want to know before you actually start working on something that you intend to put a lot of time and effort into. I like the 4B for general drawing, and just to keep it loose and expressive, and I find that it just makes it easy to focus on the sort of the shading and the softness, and as opposed to when I work with harder pencils, I tend to kind of get into the fine details more, and that's fine. It really is. It just depends sort of what you want to do that day or whatever. but I find that like the 4B starts to get closer to painting almost, and many times when I'm drawing sort of like a portrait, or I will start with an HB or a 2B and draw the portrait in that, and then bring in darker shades, layering it on top as you go. For the purposes of these videos, I think I'm just gonna tend toward a 4B because it just lets you get the darker shades on there a little faster. And so now I'm starting to wear my pencil into a place where it's like I've got a really rather sharp, especially for a 4B, a rather sharp edge here. And a nice soft edge on this side for shading. So like at this point, I would say, okay, let's start, on a portrait, because I have this sharp edge that I can use for eyelashes or whatever. And I've got this soft edge that I can use for eyeshadow. And sort of I know how my pencil is going to behave when I start working on those parts of the portrait, because, the last thing you want to do is start working on the eyes or whatever of a portrait, or the hair, and then find out, oh, I messed up on the second eye, I've got to start over or something. I mean, even if you start on the eyes, who wants to restart on after the second one? And it's those kinds of things, those little tricks that definitely helped me develop my life drawing skills. So I hope this warm-up sort of tutorial video has been useful to you. And if you did find it useful, please like or subscribe, or both. And I'll be back real soon with more videos, and I intend to increase the complexity of these tutorials as I go. I just wanted to start with something simple, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks.